So what a great day to be able to share and engage with you on what was for me an amazing experience. But I wanted to get your perspective, so I would know for sure, it would be confirmed, that what we just experienced on the Oprah 3-day Girls Getaway cruise was indeed amazing outside of me. And so I'm glad. So today, of course, I'm Angela Odom, and I am the owner of the Better You Project, and also the person who loves to share the Bronco Strong story. And you're my friend, like my everything friend. And so I just have a few questions, and we'll go ahead and just order. First of all, if you would, can you just tell my audience just a little bit about you?
I'm Lorie Fanning, author of 101 Hilarious Reasons to Stay Married, and I am Angela's friend of over 30 years, and she's the first person I met when I came into the Army, and we were on duty, and we have been together ever since. And
you gave me some of your sandwich, right?
I gave her half a sandwich. For half a sandwich, I got a friend for over 30 years. That was a good sandwich. So we have been through numerous adventures. So here we are again on an Oprah adventure, and it was just phenomenal. Every single thing was phenomenal.
Every single thing. And so the just background for the people who are watching this, or the people who are able to listen and to look at us. We want you to experience this from our eyes, and trust me, it was amazing. So the background is, this would be my third Oprah event. The first one was in 2003 or 4 in the DC area. It was one of those Living Your Best Life tours. And then in 2014 or 2015, I think it was in Atlanta, and that's when you called me and said, hey, I think Oprah's doing one of those Living Your Best Life tours. And I said, hey, we're going. And so, of course, that was in Atlanta. And this time I saw something somewhere about Oprah and Gail doing something. I was like, hey, wait, they're doing something together. And I'm going. She's like, I'm in. So that was great. And of course, they sold out in 24 hours. And we got ourselves on a wait list that was like May, June timeframe of 2018. And we paid the deposit. The wait list went through November. We were given 24 hours to make all the arrangements and to accept the conditions. We got on the three-way because we live in 2 different states. Got on the three-way, talked to the lady. Yes, and we made all of the arrangements, paid the full price, and we were just so grateful to be off the wait list and be on the list to go. So we wasn't concerned about which cabin we were going to be in, what day.
We didn't have the flights. We didn't have any information, but we're going.
That's right. And so we just returned. So at the time that we were doing this interview, we have just returned. Yeah, just 4 hours. So now, why did you decide to attend this particular cruise?
Because you were going for one. And where you go, we have a great time together. But the other thing is, Oprah is always going to impart great knowledge to whoever she is in contact with. And I know that a cruise is my drug of choice to start with. That is my favorite vacation. That's my favorite way to travel. And because you don't cruise a great deal and I cruise a lot, I knew we're going to get into a lot of trouble on this thing. This could be great. So I said, well, you know what? This can't be anything but incredible. We're going to learn some things. We're going to meet some like-minded women. We're going to see Oprah.
Yes, and Gail.
Yeah, this was a great thing.
Yes.
So it was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
We're going. That was my first thought.
And so what was your overall impression of the experience?
My overall impression is that this is a very high bar. Out of all of our adventures, this bar is going to be something to how can we reach this plateau again? What are we going to do next to match this? And my overall impression of this, Oprah took care of every single detail. Holland America took care of every single detail on this cruise. Little things that you didn't know you needed, they were there. You know, I was so impressed with, and you get a gift every day. We love gifts. And there was a gift on our bed every day from Oprah and O. We brushed that. What do we have? What do we have today? So that really impressed me. And that wasn't even needed because of the knowledge we gained every day in meeting the different women. I was just impressed with the openness. And when we talk about utopia, I was like, this is what God meant when he said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Because all of those women were loving on us. All the women come up and hug you. And it wasn't an issue of what you do or who you are. It was just a loving group of people. A very kind group.
Right. So many like people who, everyone, it seemed to me that everyone came with the same expectation to be filled up, to be surrounded by people who would accept them without judgment the first second they saw them. It was as if we were on board with all of our systems.
That's right. and it was so loving that you never knew if you were talking to the CEO or the janitor. Right. That's what I love. Everyone was treated so well. It didn't matter what their background or where they were from. I love that about that environment.
So what brought you the most joy?
Oh, my sidekick. And the most joy is when you learn something and the light bulb comes on and it's somebody, you're like, and they know your story. Some people don't know your background. Right. And we talked about other things more personal that struck us. And because you know my story, that was really interesting to me to say, Angie, all these years you've been saying this to me. And Oprah just said it again. And I heard her. And you're like,
I've been saying it 30 years.
Or sometimes it takes a moment for the light bulb to come on. So really to have that experience in 30 years down the road when we're sitting on the porch and I can say, hey, remember that time? Mm-hmm. So that to me is important because as I build memories with my girls and as I build memories with you, we'll be able to go down the road and look back and say, remember that time we did this? So to me that was a really important piece. Because, very few people came by themselves, but they didn't leave by themselves.
Right. And most people came in one way and they left another way. And it transformed by the experience. So as far as the cost, the opportunity cost, the economical cost, the time cost, what do you see as the cost associated with this particular trip?
I think it was priceless to me because I knew what I was gaining from it. And I try to make sure that we have time as a team. We have time just between us. And we will say, we'll have that vibe and I'll call you and you say, I was just thinking about you. And you'll call me and I was just thinking about you. So that to me was important that we get that time. And it was priceless because my children will gain so much from what I learned. And to make sure that they, and like Oprah said, every life that she touched, as she touched my life, I'll touch my girl's life. So there wasn't a price. I think I would have taken a loan out.
Yes.
Because for what that is, because if we buy a material thing, we'll use it and it's gone. And if we have an object, we may use it and lose interest. But the lessons we learn will go on and we'll pass those to the children. So it was a priceless experience to me.
It was. Frankly, I didn't know how much it would cost. I just knew that I would sacrifice anything else for the financial cost to go. I would do without something else so that I was able to afford to go financially. But I knew that I could not afford not to go.
And I heard, don't sacrifice what you need later for what you want right now. So I didn't want to say, just buy frivolous things, but that goes for the long range. What I was getting with that session with Oprah, what I would get out of that experience is what I want for the long haul. Those life lessons that I'll be able to pass on to my girls.
Right. And so all of the, and you, knowing you for all these years, what I observed from my vantage point really is that, if you could see like snow caps, you go from snow cap to snow cap being experience to experience to experience to experience. Whereas other people might sit at home in their neighborhood or in their somewhere in one place and say, I wish I could do this, or maybe I'll do this. One day I'll get to this. And you're the person that I know that's actually doing it. You are, what is that you said to me? That you are engaged in extreme self-care. And so if it is going from experience to experience to experience, and this one experience, for some people, this is the experience of a lifetime. And what I observe is that you have several big experiences for the lifetime. And you have people in your life that you will say, intentionally say, I want you to go to this trip with me. I'm going to go and see this concert, and you invite people to come with you, or you invited to those things. And those are, for those people, that is an experience of a lifetime. And for you, it is a way of life. And so for me, for this particular experience, I'm grateful that we did it together. I'm very grateful for that. I know for me, it's just like huge. And I know for this moment, for you, it is huge. But what I know of you is there is another huge experience just on the horizon. And so, of all the programming, because, we both expected for the programming, the daily activities to be top notch. We expected them to be well organized, to have, to be the gold standard, because this is Oprah's event. We knew that Gail and Oprah together, my God, we just expected greatness. And that's what we got. But for all of the different activities and programs, which one do you think was the most beneficial to you? Or was it just one, or was it several?
Well, actually, it was the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation with Oprah, where she heard something that she said to her mom. And over the 30 years that we've known each other, you have constantly talked with or about your mom every day. Or there has been something about you that's adding it every day. And I would get that over 30 years. And when Oprah said, I said to my mom, she may not have been the mama that I wanted sometimes, or the mama that I thought I needed. But you did the best that you knew how to do. And you have come and you've done what you came to do. And that resonated with me over all the years you've been saying, hello, you call my mama. And I'm like, you call your mama every day? You call your mama? And I couldn't get it then. Because I'm like, that's just Angie. That's how she is with her mama. That's Angie. But now, sitting in that conversation, it just like water just washed down. And I could feel it from her. Whereas you've been saying, it's like your mama telling you all the time and you don't hear it. But someone down the street says, baby, and you hear it differently. And that's what Oprah did in that conversation for me. And it came to me that is important. People do the best that they know how to do. And my mama's message is not my message, and my message is not her message. So she did the very best that she knew how to do. That was so important that was worth the price of admission for me.
Wow.
So that was the most important.
Wow. Yeah. That right there was cool. I'm just going to tell you that so for the people who are watching this, Oprah described the end of her mother's life. And if you know Oprah's story, her mom and dad seized her under an oak tree when her mom was 17. And they did not have a relationship. And, so her mom and her over the years, because of, whatever the dynamics and the environment and the time that they lived in, that she did not have a close relationship with her own mother. But she said she for the Bible verse, honor thy mother and thy father, and the days shall be long. So she did that, making sure her mom was comfortable, had homes, and all those things. The things that she could provide, she did that. But as far as the emotional connection, Oprah says that just wasn't there, right? And so at the end of her mother's life, she was trying to figure out what she would say to her. And my mom passed away in 2011, June of 2011. And so anytime, I might just fall on the floor, roll on the floor at any time I think about the fact that Hattie is no longer here in physical form with me. And of course, I celebrate her life, but sometimes I get to a space where I can hardly breathe. So Oprah was going through it's a very personal story about, how the last few minutes really of her mom's life. And so I'm sitting there because I'm in a space where I'm thinking about my mom and I'm thinking about my son at the same time. I'm thinking about the loves of my life, right there. And there was a lady on the other side of me. There was a lady on the other side of me that, tears all over the place. I'm smiling and everything. Lori's over there in her deep moment thing. She's sitting here. I'm sitting here in another place over there. And the lady asked me if I needed a tissue. I said, no, man. And then before I know, Lorie had her face all turned up. Like, this is my friend. You don't want no little tissue. And so she reached in and got me a tissue. Looked like the tissue might be used. And she was like, you going to take this tissue. But you knew whose tissue. I took that tissue because I was like, oh, we don't want no problems in here. So that was so funny.
Yeah, that was a really poignant moment.
Yeah, it was good because I was thinking, on one hand, as she was saying to her mother that you did the best you could do, I was thinking, as a mother, I'm doing the best I can do, and I need my son to understand that there's no perfection in this game.
Right.
It is what it is, and we'll move through it. And I was thinking that really, my mother was a gold standard, really. And I was just like, wow, I'm in between that. In between, here's what Oprah's saying, her relationship with her mom. I know Lori's relationship with her mom. My mom makes the best decision ever. And
but it's all relative because I'm thinking, well, I needed this, or you didn't do that, or you made me do this, and it was a moment for me to say, for my mama who's behind me, to say, you know what, you did the best you could do, and I need to be grateful for that. And go forward in what you did give me and look at my children and know that I'm thinking I am doing the best that I can for you because I pride myself in building memories for them.
Right.
So I was very thankful. It was a moment for me to be thankful.
Right. It was a moment of relief for me, and then a little comedy when you praise the Lord, making sure I got her tissue.
Well, I said she should have brought her own gas.
Because the lady was
hey, you know,
yes, you taking your tissue. That was fun. But now, what surprised you the most of the overall crew?
What surprised me was the level of personal attention. Mm-hmm. They gave us such personal attention. We would walk out and someone would say our names. The lady said, "Hi, Mrs. Fanning, Ms. Odom," and we were like, and they would remember who we were. And I was like, do they just all have good memories? Mm-hmm. Or they said that you need to have a level of person, you need to be personal with these people because and Oprah said it, these people paid a lot for this cruise. They got their weaves tightened. they went and got their pedicures. Listen, you're going to do this and y'all did this cruise. So to me, that surprised me that it was such detail.
As far as people remember our names, I just took it as we are memorable.
We are.
And I said, well,
all of them?
I don't know about the rest of them. I just know that when she said, she was, after that, we had only been up to the desk at one time. We'd come back, I think it was the next day, and she's like, oh, hi, and she said that, and I was like, well, of course she would remember us, because we're us. So as far as the food, my God, I tried all those desserts. It was so good. I tried so many different types of cheesecake. Oh, that was so good. But what food did you seek out?
My smoked salmon. That is my cruise breakfast of choice.
Yeah.
They don't lot. And I really love a lobster tail. So those are the two things I always seek out, and they were absolutely delicious. And tell the story, the lady said she was going to lick her plate.
So we had the opportunity to sit and eat with different people each night, and then for lunch also. And we sat with this one pair of ladies. One was very reserved. Well, that was a pattern. Each set of people we met, there was like it was one reserved and one just very gregarious, right? And so I said to Lorie, I said, "Oh, I see a pattern. Now each one of the women, the sets of women, one is like all over the place, and the other one's kind of reserved until you tap that reserve one day, she just bing comes alive, and she's able to she's acknowledged, and she gets her voice is heard." And so we was talking to these two ladies, and we got to eat with them. It was a very nice conversation, and we met with them a few times over this cruise. And one lady said, "I didn't get to get my lobster on the this day 3. I didn't get on day 2. You were going to the lobster shop, you could get your lobster, but they ran out." So she said, "I didn't get to get my lobster," and so it just so happened they had lobster that night, and she had Lorie asked for 2. They got 2 lobsters and a steak, and she ate the reserve lady. She was over there, and I noticed it was almost finished. Her plate was clean. I mean, clean. And she took that last little bit of lobster, and she just wiped the rest of the plate around with that last little bit of lobster. And everybody was like, "Wow, you really doing that?" So she said, "It was so good." And she took her plate up. She said, "She said, I almost just licked it like." And Lorie said, "You need to get another lobster." She's like, "No." She said, "No, you get another lobster." Waiter, she ordered her another lobster, and then them 2 lobsters were gone in like 2 snaps. Then she was good. But she also said, because the beds in the the beds in the cabin, they were little small, very small single beds, because of the space. But oh my God, they were just wonderful, heavenly, just very comfortable. And the same reserved lady, she said the bed was delicious.
What a delicious bed.
She said, "Oh, I've been thinking about getting back in that bed because it was delicious."
She missed some events because that bed was so
She missed events because of the bed. Oh my God. And after she light up like that, like a Christmas tree, say all those things, she go right back to it.
But now there were no shortcomings, because she said they had more lobster, but it was a 45-minute wait. And she didn't want to stay.
Oh.
She was coming back to the delicious bed.
Okay.
So they had more lobster.
Okay.
She just didn't want to wait 45 minutes.
Okay.
But she said, "Oh, I didn't get the lobster." But when they brought it out,
oh Lord,
she took it out. She took that lobster out. And I found this too. A lot of people wanted to do things, but they just need a little push.
Yeah.
She really wanted that other lobster. And I said, "Oh, you're going to get that lobster because there are no shortcomings. This is the Oprah cruise."
Yeah.
And she wiped that lobster out right away.
Oh, wait. She
and
took that little piece of lobster around that plate, like you have a biscuit, you soften up the gravy. I was like, "Oh my God." Give that lady a lobster, Lord.
I'm like, "Look here, sometimes you need to nudge."
Yes.
Sometimes nudge my friend.
Yes.
Come on here.
Yes.
And that just brings, if she didn't want it, it wasn't going to go to waste.
She said, "Gee, why nobody get that lobster for her?" That was so cool. But okay, so for about the ship itself, the customer service, what are your thoughts on just the program and the ship, the people, the crew? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it was an incredible team effort. We saw where the staff, the people with the nice staff t-shirts, we saw those teenagers having an opportunity.
Yeah.
And they were seizing that opportunity to show how well they could follow directions, how they kept us focused. And you get a group of women, and it's like you're kind of herding cats sometimes. But this group, they may have been in their early 20s, if that, and they were in charge of what they were in charge of.
Yeah.
And they didn't allow us to wonder what was going on. One would stand up on the stairs and say, "Ladies, this is what's going on. We're going to open the door in 2 minutes.
This was
they made sure you were aware.
The Oprah event staff.
Right.
And they were
very on point.
Yes.
And they were not going to let this opportunity slip by. And the staff, we saw them with a little screwdriver putting a sign up for us to take pictures in front of, but they didn't let that mission go through. They had that tiny little screwdriver, and I was like, oh, I got a bigger screwdriver. But they did the job, even though it was a very small screwdriver they were over there working with. So I found that these people were going to make it happen, one way or the other. And then with the staff, the customer service, like I said, the young lady remembered our name, and they were so pleasant. And people who had any concerns, if you had, with some, like the lady said she left her extension cord, and they were very safe because they took the extension cord out, and they said they keep it until you got off. They had her extension cords, everything with your name on it, waiting for you. And I said, Angie, look, that's the stuff they confiscated,
right? And
they had it waiting for them when they went out. So there was such attention to detail and courtesy. Even though they had to take your extension cord, they weren't ugly about it. They held on to it, put your name on it, and had it for you when you got ready to leave. So I just think it was a great team effort. I don't know who the coordinator of that staff was, but somebody in that chain of command had done a great job of making sure everybody had ownership.
Right.
There was no, I just work here. You didn't see that.
I think that goes back to Oprah made a remark about when she was actually doing an Oprah show,
right?
And she hired the first 200 people she hired. She would go in the room with them, not really say a lot, but just feel the energy that they brought, because she says everyone is responsible for the energy they bring, and making sure that they were there with the right intention. And so she don't make the hiring decision now for all those people who fix her company. So now it is obvious though that is still the intention.
Right.
And so all those people with the event staff, all the people on the Oprah event staff had the same awareness of everyone is a human being and deserves respect, and also to communicate effectively with everyone. And so that's the Oprah event staff. And what I noticed was the Holland America cruise staff, because I kept saying, you got one job. Inside of the dining room, they would have one job. One person would make sure if you wanted coffee, somebody would come by if you asked you for drinks. Somebody would come by for the main meal, the entree. So they had one job, and they were very efficient in that one particular area. And anywhere else on the cruise itself, the ship itself, you would notice that. I mean, I stopped a couple of people, and it's like, because I was trying to get oriented to the ship, and it's like, oh, how do I get to the Lido deck? They would stop what they were doing. No obvious frustration on their face. It was just like, okay, let me help you. Let me help you get there. This is where you go, that kind of thing. So that was awesome. So I definitely agree with that. And so you cruise every
quarter, at least every quarter, maybe 2-3 times a year. Because cruising is my drug of choice.
And so is this the first time you've been on a Holland American cruise?
Yes.
And so will you go on another Holland American cruise?
I would, but I have to caveat that by saying this was the Oprah boat. I can't pronounce the name all the time, but it was an incredible boat, and it had such attention to detail. And I'll cruise on any boat just to see, but this boat has a very high bar. This is a high standard for anyone.
Right.
Catch it. It's great, and it's beautiful.
It is. So yeah, that's right, because this is the magazine, the Oprah magazine, and Holland America have an agreement now, contractor agreement for programming, and Oprah is now the godmother of this particular ship, and so the level of programming is at a much higher standard. I even noticed on the ship, you know how you have the seating areas. Well, inside of the world stage is what's they called? The world stage.
The world stage.
The world stage, and where they have the big audience come in, they had like the regular seats. Then they had seats for people who were wider, intentionally across all throughout the
like
theater.
A love seat,
almost like a love seat. And so, so imagine that you come with your friend, and your friend is friend, parent, cousin, whatever it is wide, and you are not. And so because the seats are certain the standard size, that means either your friend has to go and sit somewhere else or stand or not come, feel bad about not being able to get in the seat. You've got to make several arrangements for them. Or, have to stand for a second until everybody is seated. Oprah took that into consideration, or the Holland American cruise line takes that into consideration when they were building the ship to make sure that, you could actually sit with your folks you came with together. And that's just that level of detail is amazing. So this particular, I think it's like the New Staten Grand Dam, I'll get the correct name. This particular ship that Oprah is the godmother of is like the gold standard. It is the gold standard for programming and for details. And the space. Oh yes, all of that.
And balconies galore.
Oh, that's amazing. Yes. So, and then also, would you go on another Oprah event? Because this is, for me, the third one, and you and I have been on 2 together. Would you go on another one?
I would go on another one tomorrow.
Oh my God, I'd go right this minute. All I need to do is get my son situated.
There you go.
My favorite teenager, once he's straight, I'm going to give him like the biggest hug and high five ever and be like, deuces. So before we wrap this up, is there anything else that you would like to add?
I just think Oprah and Gail as a team, sort of like us as a team, they created a grand adventure as a team that included all of us like-minded women. Of course, they couldn't do it for free, and I do believe for you to value something, sometimes you have to have some skin in the deal. If they had just said this is a free cruise, people may not have valued it as much just coming to see them. But the lessons that we were going to learn on this trip and the adventure that we have as a team, that was priceless. And I think just for them to even be involved with Holland, and for Holland to take that initiative towards their customers to provide that learning and loving atmosphere for a group of women, I think that should be done somewhere regularly, like quarterly, so that women can come and be fed the way we were fed on that thing. Just spiritually fed from a place of equal women. Just, you don't know what their status is. They're just loving on you because.
And I think it was. I think that so the youngest age was 6, the oldest age was 93, and there was like over 2,400 women, and I think 57 men. Is what
125.
they. Oh, okay.
But they said including staff and other guys.
Oh, okay. Oh, God, that was amazing. So that was an indelible experience, and I am grateful that God allowed me to share that with you. And so just wanted to get your thoughts because I'm just like full, right? And one of the things that I have decided to do is to be more present, and this allowed me to do that, to be more present, like just to be able to engage with people without saying, okay, well, I got something, I'm distracted, I got something else to do. No, go have conversations with people, get up and dance, get up and
we dance,
and just meet people where they are, and then, oh my God, laugh till your stomach hurts, and like laugh till you can't catch your breath. I cried. Oh, I cried and everything. I cried. I laughed.
It was a grand.
Yeah, that was awesome. And I was just still thinking about laughing at the last group of people.
What being women called being women.
Yes. But anyway, so I just wanted to say thank you for agreeing to allow me to pick your brain and confirm that yes, indeed, this just happened. It was a real thing.
It was a real thing. Did I pinch me? Am I dreaming? Yeah, I was in the dream too. It happened.
And so earlier you mentioned the book of 101 Hilarious Reasons to Stay Married, and I know you have those, and you have a location where people might be able to contact you to get some of them.
Yes.
And what's that?
LAF3161
All right, and I'll make sure I put it on the screen. And so the other things, I know you're coming out with some other wonderful opportunities for people to enjoy you at workshops, training workshops. She's an amazing trainer, by the way, and so I will make sure I add that to the end also. So I'm Angela Odom, and this is Lorie Fanning. So we have just finished the Oprah and the O magazine 3-day Girls Getaway cruise. And like I said before, it was amazing. And so me as the owner of the Better You Project, seeking to help grown women, my goals friends, that's why I try to help my goals friends achieve success in their health, their finances, in their leadership abilities, and also help them with moving forward in their life. And so I am grateful that you are choosing to watch us right now, because I already know that you are going to be a better version of yourself just by watching this right now. So you can all learn more about me at angelaodom.com. Just go there, first name, last name. With that said, of course, I'm always rooting for you.
Sure. Bye. How many minutes?